Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair and this week's dose of car booty. More booty. So I have the last two PCs that I got in the batch a couple of weeks ago. Now I had 6 PCs, we've looked at 4 of them. If you've been watching the videos, I have about £420 worth now, based on sold items, which I have the same item. So this is not based on what people are asking for these items, it's based on what have sold recently on eBay, okay? So we have 2 more to go. Can we make a bit more money? But for the €120 I paid, I'm 300 up. That's £300, which is about €1.14 or something to every pound. But there again, there's also about 10% commissions on eBay. So they kind of cancel each other out for me. So we can say that's €300 profit, okay? So this is the 5th machine. This looks very similar to that large batch of machines I had, which were the MSI motherboards. A lot of them had corroded memory slots, okay. You can see there's no power supply. Well, actually there is, it's just lying around inside the box, okay. There's no side on this either, so let's just get a look and see what's inside this one. And I can tell you now, it is an MSI motherboard again. And very similar to all the other ones we have. 865G Neo 2-P. This is a Pentium 4. It has the quick release heatsink on again, I quite like these with the fans. This one has its hard drive. It has, these are like the cables that came with these motherboards. Okay, 1 strip of RAM. Looking from here, all the capacitors look good on this, but to be quite honest, they were on the other ones. So we'll get this motherboard on the bench with the hard drive. Let's give it a good look over if it looks okay, and we'll have a good look in the slots on this one for corrosion, because I know what the problem was with most of the other ones I had. I have about 10 of these now, these motherboards, 10 or 12 of them. Okay, of which a few of them are working and the others are all on one side, so I get around to sorting out the corrosion in the RAM slots. Okay, let's get this one apart. This has a wireless LAN card in here. The antenna is broken anyway, pretty useless really. That can go in the bin. We have a 40 gig hard drive. I think all these machines have these same 40 gig hard drives on, so they must be a batch from somewhere. This is the little backplate with the analyzer thing built into it. And the motherboard itself, well, capacitors do look good on this one. Oh, we have a broken capacitor here. Okay, we have 1 capacitor broken off. So we need to fit that. This one was never fitted, I can see that. Okay. This all looks good. Let's have a quick look inside these slots, because this was the main problem with a lot of the other ones. I'll try to shine a bit of light down here so we can see. This looks dusty, but not like nasty. None of that green corrosion or white corrosion in this. It's not too bad. Wants a bit of a clean, of course. And the RAM slots, again, they're a bit tarnished to be honest, but they're not nasty. Some of the other ones have like white corrosion on the pins. Okay, these don't look too bad. So I'll give these all a clean with isopropyl alcohol, reset the memory a few times. Yeah, it's a bit in there. I think this is dust actually, you know, mostly. Let's just see. Yeah, it's a lot of dust in them. Okay. So initially, I'll clean the slots with isopropyl alcohol and I'll fit a capacitor. I have a number other of these boards, so I can have a look to see what value that capacitor is. If I was to take a guess, it's around this MOSFET. There's a voltage regulator there. We have a 10 volt 470 mic there. This one, you'd have to probably measure the voltage rail to be sure, but I think it's likely to be the same as these, which I think are 1006.3 on these boards. No, 10470. Okay, so I'd probably put a 10470 in there, but I will just check actually on one of the other boards anyway. So my guess is 10470. Let's see what it really is. So here's another one. Yeah, look, it's a 10470. I probably might not have had any 10, but you could fit a 16 volt 470. It'll be fine in there. Okay, so I'll put a 10470 or what I have closest to that in there, and I'll get the slots cleaned. Now let's see what that board does. Okay, I actually changed this for a 470 microfarad. 16 volt is what I had. Electrolytic capacitors are basically not critical things, really. If you fit a voltage a bit higher, it isn't going to cause a problem. And to be quite honest, if you replace that with a higher value capacitor, it's not going to cause a problem. You could probably put a 1000 in and not have any issues with it. Certainly like a 680 or something. These are like a very wide tolerance component anyway, so I wouldn't worry about that sort of thing too much. Bit of looks like corrosion, but this is dust, guys. You can see if I brush it off, it's dust. I've cleaned the AGP slot and the RAM slots with some isopropyl and a stiff brush, so we can have a look at that just to see how it looks now. Okay, so the AGP slot, I'm just shining the torch around a little bit. Let me just hit the autofocus. It's really good on this microscope. Okay, so that looks better than it did for sure. So basically I just get a stiff brush, isopropyl alcohol, I have a good scrub around inside there, and then I insert a graphics card 5 or 6 times, in out, okay. Just wiped it off with kitchen roll. Same method with these RAM slots, so these are much cleaner than they were. Go back to autofocus, there we are, okay. Yeah, these are much better now. You can see that. Okay. Same technique, stiff brush, isopropyl, and then repeatedly insert a dim 5 or 6 times. Okay, there's a little bit of tarnish in here, but bear in mind this motherboard's over 20 years old. There's a bit of corrosion on here. You could probably rub at that with something like a nail file, the sort of thing your wife probably has if you have a wife, okay, or girlfriend, yeah, for doing their fingernails. Emery board or whatever they call those things. Ohms range. I'll try to get some batteries at the flea market tomorrow. Remember, they do sell new items there. I need a couple of PP3 batteries, one for my fluke meter and one for my capacitor meter. If I get some cheap, I'll just get a few, I think. So, check for shorts. I should have done this before I changed the capacitor, or the fitted one, by the way. So that's probably ground on that side anyway. Bear in mind that 2 pins of this are ground anyway. The other ones, yeah, that's looking good. So we see a climbing resistance. Okay. What do you think of this meter though, guys? I mean, it's a bit slower responding to me, but do you think it's easier for you guys to see? And you've seen it before, but this is the rather battered stiff brush I use for cleaning the slots. Okay, let's get this connected up and let's see what it does. Okay, we're ready to go. I haven't put a graphics card in yet. Switch on. Does it start? Yeah, and it looks like it's going to boot this one. Yeah. It's not got stuck in the loop with the RAM. Okay, let's put a graphics card in. Okay, again. Yeah, capture card's working on it quite nicely, so we can see there. I'll connect up the hard drive. Let's see if this one boots. All the other machines I had like this had Linux on. Not sure, maybe this is the same. Yeah, some sort of Linux type installation, okay? With, looks like, yeah, Spanish, I think. Checking for errors. Meduxa? Maybe that's what it says. Okay, he seemed to be trying to do something there. I just hit escape and we come to this. So, yes, this basically does work. We looked at these before, but just to remind ourselves, this is completed listings. So, somebody made an offer less than the asking price, which was 100. And that one sold for 68, and that one sold for 73, 68. But then one here, no, this is a different motherboard, OS. Okay, so those are the ones that have sold. Average price of these is about £70, and I think we can reasonably expect to get that for one of these. I have maybe 12 of these now, you know. They're selling fairly regularly as well, you can see that, okay. So add that to, I think we had about 420 already, another 70, £490 so far on one machine to look at. So let's do that. And here it is, a bit battered, yeah. Zip drive, it says, on the case itself, yeah. New Millennium computer system, probably from around 2000 then, the year, yeah. New Millennium. Oh, this must be, I'm guessing, a zip drive that was fitted on this. So this was kind of like a custom printed front case. Or case front, shall we say. Front panel, maybe. And it looks like there's nothing in it. Yeah, this looks like there's nothing inside it, but there is something in there. There's a motherboard in here because I can hear it moving. Yeah, so that's what we actually have. I have no idea what state this thing is in. But I paid the same price for all of these machines, €20 each. So we'll just have to have a look. The top comes off anyway, so let's see what's inside it. Okay, and this is what's inside it. So, ASRock motherboard, P4i65G. I've had these exact motherboards before. This looks like a floppy drive to me. I'm sure the zip drive was on an IDE cable. It does have a hard drive. I think this motherboard was originally in here. It has the metal clips to fit into here. It's connected to everything, so I'm assuming it came out of here. Let's get the, I'm pretty sure it's the floppy drive, I'm certain of that, but let's have a look. We'll get the hard drive out, we'll get this motherboard, which is loose anyway, and let's see what we have. And here it is, Prescott 800 megahertz front side buzz. Potentially has one of the fastest P4s in it, although I've mentioned before I've only ever found one and it was worth over £100, okay, just for the CPU. I don't think these motherboards were of great value. We've seen several of them now. All the capacitors look good on this one. This has onboard VGA. So I think we'll go with a quick check for any shorts on the 12 volts and we'll give it a try. This looked a little bit dusty, but I think yes, it is just dust. Okay, 2 strips of RAM on this one. Check for short circuits. That's fine. And give it a go. Came on by itself, booting. Stopped at D0. I don't think we'll have a picture we can connect the VGA. It's not bleeping, although I have the speaker attached to it. Again. Power's on by itself. That'll be because the CMOS battery is dead. Almost certainly. D5 this time and stops. This D0, D5 I think is related to a problem with the RAM. So if it doesn't see any RAM, we take them out. We often get a C0 or C1, and this varies from one BIOS to another. I have seen this code as well, E0 for RAM. I think those MSI motherboards were doing basically that. Just quick brush out the dust. I won't clean them just at the moment. Let's see. And then reseat them. But taking the RAM out made a difference. Whether that's good or bad, we can't really say. 1 strip of RAM. Okay. Yeah, that's looking good now. I'm going to have a picture on this one. Okay. Put the other strip of RAM in. Bit of fluff attached to that one. Okay, again. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so we have another working one. Just realised, guys, my camera had fell off there. Yeah, you look at the ceiling, sorry about that. Just noticed, okay. Not sure how long that was, probably a while. This has a 160 gig hard drive. This is a floppy drive. This is not a zip drive. Yeah, floppy drive. Don't need it to have quite a few of those, and they're not really worth anything particularly. So I'll attach the hard drive. Let's see if this will boot. And it's time to find out. Okay, it's telling me to run F1 for setup default, so we'll just try that. Acronis Loader, this some sort of recovery software. Windows XP. Encrypted in Spanish. Okay, no password on. We're in, so there's lots and lots of requesters. That's like invoices. No, not invoices, kind of like pro forma, yeah, like that sort of thing. Body of something or other. Yeah, I won't mess around with this stuff. It's obviously somebody's data on here, although it's quite old data, I would say. Nueva Carpeta. These carpetas, I think it was like a carpet. Yeah, it means a folder. That one, yeah, that carpet thing. Oh, music. We maybe have a bit of music on here. Yeah, we do have a bit of music on here. You can see that, okay. You can tell by the, well, titanium. Yeah, David Guetta. That'll give you an idea of how old that stuff is. And a bit more music. Oh, The Cure. Okay, there you go. Smashing Pumpkins. Let's have a look to see what processor is in this thing. So it's a 3 gigahertz processor, but they're not worth anything. It's the 3.4s that are worth all the money, and the 3.2s a little bit. Okay, so there we have it, a working machine. Let's see how much money we can add to the coffers with this one. Well, there are some for sale here, but I think they're a bit ambitious, to be honest. That's just selling a box. Okay, I mean, those are all the motherboards entirely, so there's just these two. I don't think they're worth that much. Advanced, sold, search. Do you know what? These are sold. This one has which processor? Let's see what was with them, okay? And interestingly, one there sold for £24. That's more like I thought it was worth, but this one sold 114 and this one 87. Okay, that was on the 11th of September. That was recently. 7th of September. That was recently. Okay, this has no processor. This had a processor. These are being sold by a business, Collide Computers, Southern. So I think we're going to have to say they're worth whatever people are asking for them at the moment. This 87 seems to be what they were worth. Let's say it's worth another £80. Okay, so that takes us from 490 to about 570. So I paid 120 for the whole lot. That gives me a profit somewhere around €450 from the 6 machines. Okay, I'm sure you guys would like to talk about that. Get into the comments below, let me know what you think. That's the last of those 6 machines then, but you know what? I'm going to find plenty more. I'll see you all soon. Ciao for now, guys.